Today I'm going to be listening to a piece by Mexican composer Hilda Paredes. It's titled Homenaje, Remedios Varo, and it's a homage to the Mexican-Spanish surreal painter Remedios Varo. You might be familiar with her canvases. This is probably the most well-known. Painting of hers. And her paintings are often like autobiographical, and the figures portrayed in them often look like her. So this is sort of the inspiration for the piece. Here's an interesting one, the creation of birds. It's a series of 5 pieces for Pierrot Ensemble plus percussion, and the whole piece is around 12 minutes long. You can find it on her website here. The full instrumentation is flute doubling on piccolo and alto flute, clarinet doubling on A, E flat, and bass, percussion, piano, violoncello. And the percussion list is Glock, vibes, marimba, temple blocks, tom-toms, tam-tams, medium cymbal, triangle, cowbell. This is the first piece in the series that we're looking at that has E-flat clarinet in it, which I find kind of interesting. And this is a perusal score. Yeah, that's all I know about the piece, really. Premiered in 1996 by the Pittsburgh New Musical Ensemble, conducted by David Stock. Specifically, this is a series of 5 canvases, which maybe I should pull up before we start listening. So the first canvas is Ciencia Inútil. This is what it looks like. It's a very tall canvas. The second movement is based off of this canvas. Okay, Los Hilos del Destino from 1956. The third movement is based off of this canvas, Premonition, from 1953. The fourth movement is based off of this very dark canvas from 1962. Architectura Vegetal, or Plant Architecture. And then the fifth and final movement is based on this canvas from 1963, Naturaleza Muerta Resucitando. So, yeah, all of these are very mature works by the artist, ranging from the 50s through 60s. So, keep those in mind as you listen, and I'll let you know my thoughts. Alright, so this one I ended up listening to the recording that's up on her Bandcamp instead. This recording is from a larger album including like other pieces for piano and tape, for example, etc. I'm assuming it's like subsets of the ensemble. Yeah, so my thoughts on this one. I really liked the dark, brooding atmosphere for the first 4 movements, and I liked how some like compositional ideas were interspersed between all of the movements, and it was little bit unclear like where one movement ended and another started, and there were some really organic, unique moments like the piano solo that goes into the last movement, I believe. Yeah, this like piano cadenza was really cool. I also liked the first movement, how it had this unique notation That was a little bit aleatoric, where everybody was just trying to fill these big expanses of time. Overall, I think it really captured the mood that each of these paintings evoke and the larger body of work. And I think the choice of a surreal artist was really apt for this type of ensemble, which has its history with a setting of Pierrot Lunaire, which is a collection of surreal poems. So here I think Hilda is doing a similar thing, but with a visual artist instead of a poet. And she's borrowing from another Mexican artist, which I think is really cool. And the use of unpitched percussion was really fun. And it added a lot to the ensemble in really subtle ways. Like, the only other piece I can think of with a lot of unpitched percussion that we looked at was the Peter Maxwell Davies, and there it was very like loud and theatrical. Here it was like a little bit more subdued and tasteful, and it really changed the color of the whole ensemble. So this would be a good go-to if you want to know how to like incorporate tempo blocks or tam-tam or tom-toms into your Pierrot ensemble piece. Rhythmically, very interesting. The last movement was the most rhythmic and fast, but throughout the piece there was really interesting things going on with rhythm. And like the second movement, for example, sounded very like improvised and uncoordinated and loose, but it was actually meticulously notated with all of these polyrhythmic structures, and it was just really cool. So really interesting piece, and I'm glad I took the time to get to know it a little bit. And maybe I'll finish today by actually reading up on Hilda's background. So Hilda Paredes is one of Mexico's leading contemporary composers, currently residing in London. She's married to the English violinist Irvin Arditi. She's a freelance composer in London and has lectured at Manchester University, UCSD, and at Spain, the Centre Acants, and she was the Darius Mio visiting professor at Mills College. So, pretty illustrious career as a teacher, in addition to being a well-performed composer. And she works with a lot of ensembles that specialize in new music. Lontano, London Sinfonietta, Ensemble Moderne, Arditi Quartet, of course. And yeah. Born in I may have mentioned this, but born in 1957, so post-World War II, composer, really like long and successful career at this point, and definitely somebody worth checking out. So yeah, that was it for Homenaje, Remedios Varo by Hilda Paredes for Pierrot.